Welcome back to the Stoked Metabolic Coaching Podcast, where we talk all things health, fitness, wellness, and a whole lot in between. I'm your host, Coach Tom, here with my main man, Coda. As always, I want to thank you at first for being here, listening, taking the time, and I hope anything you hear on this show helps you on your fitness journey, supports you on your fitness journey, because that is what I'm here for, to create impacting lives through health and wellness. And today's episode is a special one. We are going to focus a little bit about me, and I'm sorry. I love answering your questions. We've got 2 Ask Me Anythings coming up on the next episodes. But this one's about a little post I put up on Facebook recently, and I put it up. Today is Wednesday, May 15th. I posted this on Monday, May 13th, so 2 days ago, and I did a little scale comparison of, I'm looking down at it right now, Thursday, 5/9, May 9th, to Monday, May 13th. Both photos in the scale, I'll edit them in here, but on Thursday, I weighed 203.5 pounds. On Monday, I weighed 215.8 pounds. I gained 12.3 pounds in a single weekend, a little bit more than a weekend. We count, Thursday AM workout into early Monday workout. So 3 days, I put on 12.3 pounds. If you saw this on your scale, would it freak you out, was the question. I asked my friends on Facebook, just, wanted to see what people think. Gordon, yeah. He said, because I'd be like, what did I do? Eat an entire cake. Mark said, I call that a great weekend. Life is for living. Now head to the gym, LOL. Kieran, that's what New York food will do to you. And Eric followed that up with, yeah, that's 2 bagels and 3 slices of pizza. It's definitely not that much. 13, what did I say? 12.8 pounds? 12.3 pounds times 3,500 calories. Definitely not enough calories to put that much on. My buddy Brandon said, yes, this is my worst nightmare. Even though I know it's normal and fine, those unhealthy thoughts are always in my head. Amanda agreed with him. Cynthia, I just can't fathom what I would do to gain over 10% of my body weight in a weekend, because that is what 13 pounds is. Like, I can't eat or lift weights enough to make that physically possible. And followed it up with, it's just water and poo, etc. We'll dive into that. Justin, water retention and salty food. You'll go back down after a couple days. Nick, I would if my estimated muscle mass went down and my estimated BMI went up. Muscle mass didn't go down at all. I have no doubt about that. My BMI is a terrible figure, Nick, for looking at your body, but BMI is going to go up if the weight goes up regardless. It's a really dumb number doctors like to use. Not a big fan of BMI. And oh my God, mine did almost exactly the same thing this weekend. I used to freak out. Now I know better. Go Ann. LA, glad I'm not alone. Jimbo said, I've seen you at all you can eat sushi. This can't be your high score. Thank you, Jimbo. You are accurate. Nancy with no more pizza for you. Heather, different scales, so less worrisome, and would depend on the situation surrounding it. If I have heart failure, it would be pretty concerning. I would be concerned, Heather, if I had heart failure as well. Thank you. Susie said, happens every time she goes to Disney. Ricky, what scale? I've ignored that thing for 6 years, but that's just me. Keep kicking ass on your journey, dude. Thank you, Ricky. Yes, that is the goal. Keep kicking ass on my journey. Tori's scale is less than 2 feet from him in his office. They don't speak. Sonia, last comment said, yep. So there's a lot to unpack here. Scale went up. What did we say? 12.3 pounds in a weekend. Now, that is not normal. It's not something that happens a lot, but I'll tell you exactly why it happened. And, I'll start at the beginning. It was my nephew's communion. Kim and I took a trip up to Connecticut, spent some time with the family. And when I spend time with the family, I don't see my family often. Outside, it's Kim and I down here. Her family's here. But, my mom, my dad, my sister's boys, my nephews, and her husband, they're all up there. Aunts, I've got my aunts up there, nieces, nephews, cousins, what have you. Look, it's just time with family. And we were embracing time with family. So I kid you not, and I'm not a great flyer. I'm always going to be transparent with you. I've gotten a lot better in the past couple of years, thanks to Kim and she keeps me at ease, but I've never been a great flyer. I've definitely got more comfortable with it. But I like to have a beer or two before I go and fly. I'm never gonna lie to you guys. I indulge. I have a couple beers before I get on, just ease my nerves, kind of take me out of that freak out stage. So we kicked it right off with having a couple beers. Had a couple at MCO and ate some. MCO does not have the healthiest options in the terminals, except for Terminal C. It's a new one, so there's much better options there. But I ate what was available because I was hungry. We got up to Connecticut, and this is wild to me. Like, we knew my sister was getting Italian food catered to the communion party. I knew this was happening. So I was shocked when we went to another Italian restaurant. I was like thinking a burger or something, but we went to an Italian restaurant, and they're like, well, there's burgers on the menu. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, well, it's 95% pizza and pasta. I had baked ziti. It had cheese all over it. I had another beer with dinner. Had the baked ziti. Went in on it. And I have no regrets. I did order a side of chicken with that just so I knew I got some protein into that meal. And I ate my chicken first to see if it filled me, but I haven't had baked ziti in God knows how long. So I went in on that. And, Kim eats like a bird. So I finished off her stuffed shells for her. I have no shame in my game. But after that, went back to the parents' house, slept, and one of the things we like to do when we go to see my family is go to diners up in Connecticut, up in New York. We go to the diner, and they don't have diners in Orlando. If you tell me Denny's is a diner, I will give you my address and we will talk. There's no real diners. The food just does not taste the same. I go to a diner, I'm going to eat. I'm going to have that garbage toast they have. I got eggs. I got an omelet with corned beef hash in it. And I think I picked at Kim's food after we were done. Then we went to the church for the communion. I went back to my mom's house. Now, if you were to look at my pantry, I don't keep a lot of snacks in here. I know I've had a history. Excuse me. I know I've had a history of disordered eating. So I don't keep a lot of things that I know I'm going to go in and binge on because it removes that temptation. Like, that's just how I stay disciplined. If it's there, the more temptation I might eat it when I'm going through stressful times, or I get hungry and I need something quick. I might jump into the jar of peanut butter. Coda's ears just perked up when he heard peanut butter. So let's remove that temptation from my life. Works for me. It works. We come back from the church and I'm hungry. My mom has, what is it? Right as 9 or 10. My sister's gonna kick my butt. I'm so bad with numbers. Talon is 6. These 2 little boys are running around my mom's house all the time. So there's snacks. There's constantly snacks. And I opened up, if you watch my Instagram, I went through every drawer in the house. I'm looking, I'm like, what do they have here? They had Reese's peanut butter cup coated animal crackers. I've never seen these before in my life. And I'm like, I'm going to just taste it. I ate half that bag. I'm not going to lie to you. I ate half the bag. Half the bag. I'm pausing here, just reflecting. So, all right. All right. Now, you would think that might have filled me up. It didn't. Sugar went right into me. Not something I eat normally is sugar. So we head over to the communion. What I didn't tell you is on Wednesday, I messaged my godmother, my Aunt Kim. And Kim is a big fan of the show. And Kim, thank you for listening. Messaged my godmother, Aunt Kim, and I said, Aunt Kim, I got to have Louie and Ernie's pizza. Please, before you come to the communion party in Connecticut, can you stop and get me a calzone for Kim, and a pizza pie? That's all I want. I knew they were going to have food at the communion. I knew it was going to be there, but I wasn't going into New York this time, but I was close enough that I could smell the Louie and Ernie's ovens baking that pizza. And I was like, I gotta ask. And Kim lives like 3 minutes from Louie and Ernie's. So, and Kim came through. She pulled through. She showed up with the pie. She showed up with the calzone. I did a great video of me just eating this calzone for 1 minute. You can see I'm in heaven where I'm just eating this calzone. And there's just nothing like New York pizza and New York calzone. It's just, you can take your Chicago pizza and shove it where the sun don't shine. I went in on that. I enjoyed it. And I have no shame. Again, we went back in. Dinner is served. dinner is served. So I went right back in. And I had the ziti that my sister ordered. I had the chicken parm. I had the eggplant parm. I feel like there was something else I had. It wasn't something healthy though. I ate something else. It was good. But I filled up. I filled up. I filled my cup because I was feeling good. And it's nice to not have to focus on your diet and your body all the time. Like you need a break. You need a mental break. So I don't have any shame. I don't feel any guilt. And I was full the rest of that night. We went back to the house. I ate a couple more slices of my pizza. Kim and I polished off that pizza at my parents' house. Woke up the next morning. We went to the diner again. Went to the diner again before we hit the airport. Came home. It was a very quick turnaround, and there was no food prepped at home. So I just started diving into what little junk food we do have around here and just snacking. And it was Mother's Day, so we went out with Kim's mom. We went out with Maggie for dinner and went to Bahama Breeze. And I'm like, well, I like trash the whole weekend. We might as well just let's keep this train rolling, y'all. And we went to Bahama Breeze. What did I get? I got a chicken pasta, Cajun chicken Alfredo pasta type deal. It was good, but I was like, my body had enough pasta for a year. Hopped on the scale Monday, 215.8 pounds. I have no regrets, but I'm not panicked. And the point of this episode is I don't want you to panic if you see a jump like that. There's plenty of factors that can create a situation like that. Like factors I know that affected me. So I don't eat a lot of gluten and grains in general. So that's automatically going to cause bloating. I forgot about dessert at my sister's house. They had little baby mini donuts and cookies. I didn't have the cake. I'm not a big cake guy, but I did eat some desserts, and I was snacking on some stuff throughout the day too. I can't believe I forgot about that. But there was sugars. I don't eat a lot of sugar. When I eat sugar, I get bloated. I get inflamed. I can feel the tightness in my joints, and I know, proper hydration is going to flush that out. We were also traveling, so you're going to get some inflammation there. We're with the family, so I had a very minimal time frame. We got in Friday at like 7 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock, and we were already back on the plane by 11, I want to say, or maybe 10:30 on Sunday. So very quick turnaround for this trip. We just wanted to go see my nephew for his communion. Kim was his sponsor. So what little time we had there, like we woke up at 6 just so we can go and have, coffee with my dad and my mom before we went into things. And we didn't sleep. It wasn't a vacation. Like we didn't sleep, a lot, and body's tired. You get inflamed and you're stressed. So everything puffed up, and it's okay. Like don't freak out that's the end of the moral of the story is don't freak out if your scale goes up 12.3 pounds in a weekend. We're going on a cruise in less than 2 weeks, and I fully anticipate this, if not worse. I've been working out hard all year. Well, last 15 years. And I've made physique gains this year. That is something to be proud of. Does that mean I'm going to eat salads and chickens my entire vacation? No, I'm going to eat a dessert with dinner. I'm going to enjoy myself. And as Mark said, life is for living. And I do want to point out, I forgot one comment that said, hey, those are two different scales. Less worrisome. Heather, two different scales, less worrisome. She's 100% right. If you're somebody that weighs yourself regularly, make sure it's on the same scale. I was at two different gyms. I went to my Fitness CF on Thursday. And I can guarantee those scales, if I went within 20 minutes of each other, would not have the same reading. If I didn't potty, if I didn't do any of that, the two scales can definitely make a difference. I've stepped on, bioelectrical impedance scales multiple times in a day and seen different readings just based on different fluctuations. For women here, this is not something I went through, but for women listening, your hormones, you're going to get bloated and the scale's going to go up once a month. And it's a fact of life. It just happens. So I looked in the mirror one day morning while the scale said I gained 12 pounds. I still had my abs. I didn't have as much definition, but we're sitting here on Wednesday and I walked into the gym today and I'm like, Didn't even bother jumping on the scale, but I'm like, I'm right back. I bet the weight is where it was when I left, and the physique looked great. And another, fun side effect, because I have been eating super healthy, is that all those extra carbs filled in my muscle bellies. So I looked full. Like one of my buddies in the gym, we see each other all the time. He goes, dude, you're looking, what the hell's different from last week? And I said, I've been eating so healthy that everything tightened up, skin tightened up, gut tightened up. And when I put in those extra calories and I went to Connecticut and I fueled up, everything just call it saran wrap effect. If you've never heard of that, it's saran wrap effect. We tighten things up, but then when you refuel and you refill the glycogen, you kind of just looking huge. And I will never complain about looking huge. I will never complain about that comment. So that was pretty awesome. But the moral of the story today: don't freak out. Don't freak out if the scale goes up. Don't wake up Monday and get on the scale and see 213.8 and say, oh my God, all that work is out the window. It's not. I didn't gain. There's no way in hell I gained 12.3 pounds of fat. Water, inflammation, bloat, all of that stuff. That's going to go away. It already, I'll step on the scale tomorrow. It's already gone away. I'm not worried about it, but you shouldn't either. You shouldn't be either. So that's the moral of the story, kids. I hope this helps you on your journey. Hope this one helps you stay sane on your journey, most importantly, because a lot of times when we're analyzing things and we're dialing things in, we lose track of the big picture. One weekend is not going to screw you up. The big problem is one weekend for y'all is every single weekend. And a lot of y'all don't have cheat days. You have cheat weekends. And that weekend is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then we're talking about 3 days of hard work and 4 days of just throwing it out the window. If that's what you're doing, don't expect the results. Again, always, I appreciate you listening to me go on my rants, and I appreciate you being here. Thanks for listening to the Stoked Metabolic Coaching Podcast. See you next time.